is Elizabeth Ann Edwards, and I am a senior at Boise State University. My capstone project is titled the Veterans Mental Health and Suicide Awareness Project 2019. What can we do for the 22? This project is a year-long culmination of my efforts to raise awareness about the subject of the 22 veterans who are taking their lives on a daily basis, what the VA is currently doing, the changes between the world wars and post-Vietnam in the reintegration period after returning home from combat, and then turns to current solutions that are available but not yet being offered in the Treasure Valley, and a new and innovative solution, the Idaho Veterans Wellness Center. I found this project to be a calling for my life, as I have lost 3 family members to suicide, with one being my own mother, Helen Louise Persons Edwards, who served as a whack and a wave in World War II in San Diego, as well as a pharmacist mate 3rd class, a nurse for both St. Luke's and St. Al's, and a first responder to the city of Boise in the late 50s, early 60s. I believe that this project is necessary to help change the stigma that is associated with asking for help from mental health services, and to hopefully encourage others to ask for that help as opposed to taking their lives, whether they are U.S. veterans or the general public. Here in Idaho, we are 8th highest in the nation for suicide rates, and statistics show that it is not just younger males returning from service who are taking their lives, but the older veteran male as well. This is referred to as the silver wave. This project has value to my own life experience of being placed into the mental health system after the loss of my father, the second parent and 3rd member of my family to die by the time I was 23 years old, and it has helped me to understand the gap in services for veterans that is very similar to the gap in service that is met by individuals who end up in the public county mental health system or experience homelessness. And more than that, allows me to share my experience and help educate the general public with my work, as our mental health is just as crucial to our well-being as is our physical and spiritual health. After moving back home to my beloved state of Idaho 6 years ago, I noticed immediately that there was a huge lack in mental health services. If the state wants to become a veteran-friendly state, if we want to keep this area as a quality place to live, it seems to me that the wise thing to do while we are facing such tremendous growth is to face our lack of services and make it a priority to create a truly healthy mental health system. As trauma is trauma, whether you are a veteran or a civilian, and if we can tackle the problem with the military, perhaps we can also set a standard for the general public. I also know from my experience and relationship with NAMI Sacramento that there are programs that are available for both veterans and civilians, and if Sacramento can do this for their community, so can Boise. In fact, I believe the city is at a crux. We either do what is right and let that be our legacy, or we can simply choose to ignore the problems that growth brings and keep our suicide ranking. One very cost-effective and simple solution is to educate the public on what the issues are, which I am hopefully doing, what is available and being done now, and what can be done. Another very effective solution that does not seem to be widely known in this state is NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and the myriad of programs they offer at no charge, including one called Homefront, which is designed specifically for veterans and their family members. It is not open to the general public, and it is available online, ensuring the veteran their privacy, which I believe may just help them reach out. The stakeholders of the problem are you and I, and every single person who lives in this area. Building a healthy community is important to do, and in Idaho, we have lived a sheltered existence from the rest of the world for quite some time, our private Idaho. Now we are one of the fastest growing areas, and we all know that with extreme growth comes extreme challenges. For my 3 innovative solutions, I have already mentioned the first 2, which are opening your mind to what mental health is all about, what our veterans are facing, what we have available now, and where the gaps in service may be, and do what needs to be done to fund organizations such as NAMI Treasure Valley who have proven programs. The most innovative solution that I know of is being created right here in Boise, Idaho, the Idaho Veterans Wellness Center, a healing concept developed by Dr. Alex Borman, retired U.S. Air Force psychiatrist. Dr. Borman's concept is to open a healing center that focuses on the holistic services such as massage therapy, Reiki, horse therapy, wilderness therapy, as well as offering classes to veterans and the general public on such things as sculpting, photography, writing, music, and art therapy, as well as self-care classes. Dr. Borman's concept is to allow both veterans and civilians to teach classes, allowing other veterans to attend at no charge and a small and affordable price to the general public, as it is in the act of coming together as community where true healing often begins. Again, as every member of a community is truly a stakeholder, each person would need to value what our veterans do to keep us safe at night and be willing to come to the table to engage with them in an environment where they can learn as well and simply get to know our veterans for who they are, not the job that they held or what deeds they have done. When I first started this project and reconnected with Dr. Borman, it was simply to see where he was at in his journey of bringing his vision into reality. While going to film him and the IVWC one day, Robert Lyle appeared, and Dr. Borman introduced us to each other. Robert started talking, and since I had time on my hands, I simply listened. He expressed to me some challenges he had faced in life with a learning disability, and the fact that writing does not come easily to him. I could see that his concept for the classes was a very well thought out plan and quite creative, with the piece of inclusion for both veterans and civilians, and I told him that I would simply write out his plan for him so it could be presented. Out of this conversation and further conversations, I was able to create a corporate package proposal for the IVWC and to help spread awareness of their existence and goals. However, this wasn't a design, plan, or test. It was simply a desire to help these 2 U.S. veterans express their concept, gain exposure, and have a corporate package proposal. As I conclude this project, I have watched the upcoming candidates vying for the position of mayor and the growth of this beautiful city that is my hometown. I believe that our politicians need to make decisions about health care that include mental health services, and that our healthcare providers allow room for holistic alternative practices and innovative ways to heal our veterans. The general public simply opening their minds, becoming more educated, and understanding that services are needed and that we are in a position to do it right, including making the programs that NAMI offers for both veterans and civilians to the forefront, and finding funding for tried and true programs is a huge start. I also believe that finding corporate and individual sponsors for the Idaho Veterans Wellness Center so that they can move forward with their plans and serve large numbers of our veterans would be a wonderful step to take toward true healing. The acts involved in war are scars that our veterans must live with. And if the rest of us can truly start to appreciate and honor the sacrifices that military, law enforcement, and first responders all make to help keep us safe, then perhaps we as a community can keep the strong family values and quality of life that the state has always been known for. As for the value this will bring my postgraduate goal, my postgraduate goal is to take my own advice and keep active in advocating for mental health education and quality systems, and to share my story when I am called to do so. How that all weaves into my next step? First, I have to graduate from Boise State. The rest is in God's hands.